you trigger the alarms now, the enemy will start destroying data.
I never understood this hack. Is this how you're supposed to do it? Like there's no more refined skill to it?
Excellent work. A clean extraction with no alarms.
Oh wait, is there a way to get in here through the tubes? Wait, how do you get in here through the tubes? Oh my god, there is a refined way to get in here. Oh my god, I don't waste my time with that next time, if I ever do it again. It's fear. What are you doing, Nessa? Uno polo au. Uno polo au. Uno polo au. One chicken, please, au. Obrigado, uno polo. Uno polo. I don't know if it's Italian or Portuguese. Did you know Frost Overguard doesn't get removed compared to Rhino? It doesn't? What? Oh! Frost Overguard doesn't get removed compared to Rhino's iron skin. Yeah, that is true. I know.
Still working on
Don't
it.
ask me.
Continue to defend.
Like, don't tell me. Yesterday, after my complaint about that, I realized why, because I think because D still has Rhino's iron skin coded as a skill, no, not as extra, like not as a but you could call it a buff, right? Not as a traditional buff, something like that, which could explain why I didn't like playing Rhino, because his overguard kept on like going off. It's very buggy. And of course the usual question is, when is D gonna fix it? And the answer is gonna be never. Honestly, this is the most disappointing part about Warframe, the amount of bugs it has that haven't been fixed for 7 years. I'm gonna show a bug right now, and honestly, I can't say anything, man. It's a free game, like, fuck me, honestly. Because the problem is, the needs to keep churning out, like, new content. They don't have anybody in the studio that can work on, like, even graphical outdated content, you know? They don't have the Genshin money to have margins. This is why, like, you know, sometimes there are things and I make fun of it, but the thing is, they annoy me, they actually do annoy me, but I can't really, like insult you for it. Because it's a free game, you know, and, like, you have so much content for a free game, essentially. It's just, unfortunately, a very, like, you know, tread looped. Like it's a very looped, like, treadmill looped content, unfortunately. Like, the Bay of the Beast shows that problem perfectly. Like, I'm gonna show this, I think I'm on the last mission, right? I'm gonna show it, assuming I don't get 6,000 Kuva. If I get 6,000 Kuva, then you know, D. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm gonna insult you motherfuckers all I can. I don't even call you sexy motherfuckers.
Excellent work,
Okay, I'm gonna call you guys twats, okay? At least this is something. Rifle Riven mod. You know Mesa, right? Okay, here's the thing. One of the reasons I quit Warframe, and this is not a joke, I need to get this off my chest. Like, there are many reasons I quit Warframe, like about 8 years ago. Here's another reason I quit Warframe. Now, back in the day, you had, like, Carrier Prime, you know, companions like this, you had a few, like, you know, we didn't have too many options back then, right? We simply didn't. I mean, you can tell how old my guy is because of, like, these cosmetics here. So, you know, there is that. By the way, you don't get 1,200 on the shields with this guy? So I can't even trigger Reinforced Bond on you. Well, honestly, this is, like, so stupid, man. Anyways, the thing is, and this is something that people, like, I'm not gonna say they don't understand, but this is part of the problem. Like, at one point came out and they're like, we need to update the graphics of the game, especially the textures. So in case, like, the thing is, there's two kinds of textures. There's standardized textures, like back in the day, and there's PBR textures. PBR textures mean physically based rendering textures. Like, that's not what it means. PBR means physically based rendering, the entire system, the way the lighting acts, blah blah blah. The thing is, you need to change the textures, the way they work. You know, you need to like use the metallic formula, that kind of stuff, how much light is reflected of a surface. You need to start using cube maps, all that kind of stuff. The thing is, DE basically was on this entire, we're gonna PBR, we're gonna start PBRing stuff, and they were slowly PBRing things, slowly, and I think it, like they said it, and for like 2 years, or 3 even, I don't remember, but I think it was like 2 years almost. For 2 years, half of the companions, these guys, okay, half of them, were not PBR'd. Like, since the day that DE said they're gonna, like, you know, update the graphics, and one of the parts that they need to upgrade they don't need to update the quality of the textures, they need to update so that in the case of the textures, too bad you can't zoom in, you know, like this part looks rubbery, this part looks metallic, that kind of stuff. They need to update like what material is represented as what, and because previously, you know, like in game graphics we use things like glossiness. It's a whole thing, like you can read the history about it, but nowadays everything like went into PBR. Especially like the lighting system, not the reflection, what you call it, the specularity channel. It just was like brightness or like glossiness, that's it. Nowadays it's more about roughness and reflection and the albedo, like how much the material, like if like I'm using the language for it, you know. If you're not into game graphics, you don't understand what I'm saying. You're gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Shut the fuck up. So DE for almost 2 years I think, was like, we're gonna PBR, and they started PBRing things slowly, and the companions, these guys, were never PBR'd, and half the cosmetics here, the attachment, were also not PBR'd. So you want to match things and make them look cool, they were not PBR'd, they were a complete disaster. It took forever. And like, this was actually one of the reasons I also quit Warframe, was because, man, it's good. Like, they're never gonna PBR anything at this rate, you know. It's gonna take forever. It's not happening. I was like, dude, this is not happening. I can confirm this is not happening. By the way, this one is so funny. So 7 years I come back, and most of the things are PBR'd. Well, actually, all of them are PBR'd. I think they caught up. But here's a funny part. There's one thing that's not PBR'd. 7 years after, there's something, a texture set for a model that's not PBR'd, honestly. Like, this is what I mean about Warframe problems I have sometimes. And people think I'm making fun of it. I'm seriously not. It's not PBR'd at all. I mean, you know, you might be like, oh, what is it? I think the default Rhino skin still looks bad, stuff like that. But if we go to Mesa, this skin here, I think this is one of like the best skins for Mesa. This one. This skin is PBR'd wrong. The glossiness, the shiny parts on her, if you notice, I mean, forget about the human skin that I'm doing on her. This part, I think this is what they want with the material. I think this is the right material. I think this is what they wanted with the material, so, you know, whatever. I can't really complain and be like, oh, D, you should do what I want with the material. You know, this is maybe their intended vision. But I can tell it's not PBR'd correctly, because if you go to the trim, look at her guns, okay? Look at her guns. If I put that here, look at the glossiness, look at the reflection. It's very tight. The reflection is very tight. It's very glossy, it's ridiculously glossy, because if I go to her guns, the one on her hands, oh right, it's over here, the regulators. Look how much brightness is being absorbed here versus how much is being reflected over here. This is PBR'd wrong. This is what I mean. 7 years later or 8 years later, I come back and they're like attachments that aren't PBR'd correctly. This thing is 100% not PBR'd correctly. Like, because most of metallic surfaces are like this. They reflect this much. I think if I go to the default skin, yeah, you can see. Like you can see the reflection quality here. Now, of course, if you pay attention, if you go over here, if you zoom in, there's some really shiny parts, and you're like, oh, maybe this is what they intended. But remember, this is not the shiny part. This is not 100% the shiny part, like the way it is. This is not it. It's this. As you can see here, it has a certain reflection thing, and if you pay attention to the textures, they're not aliasing. They're not like doing that crunchy effect to it that looks really bad. Don't mind that. You know, if you pay attention, I mean, literally, the bullet part is the only part that has this weird, like, not weird, but this is how much light it's absorbing, stuff like that. If you go to this, they didn't PBR this correctly at all. If you pay attention, like this part, I think it's slightly done, but then internally it's not. And like, it's absorbing too much. It's not doing this, it's not doing this. It's doing this part, like the barrel. This is completely wrong. And the lighting here is being absorbed like it's as if it has a lycra layer on it, which I don't think is the intended vision. But, you know, I mean, also look at the hat. It's very hard to like, what you call it, like to synergize with the hat. I mean, the hat especially looks terrible. This especially looks terrible. This is actually this aliasing is honestly terrible. The thing is, I find it so funny that this is one of the reasons I left Warframe, because I was like, man, when is this gonna happen? It's gonna take the months, years, weeks, you know, like they're never gonna finish with this. When is this coming along? And it turns out that even 7 years after, or now 8, DE didn't PBR some things correctly, okay? And my question is, when they're like, because DE runs thin margins, they don't have Genshin money, so they can't have 25 million employees working at the same time, fixing everything. My question is, when is DE gonna have time to fix any of this again? So yeah, I mean, especially trying to synergize the hat with it, honestly, it's like, you know, like a pointless job essentially. So yeah, I mean, this is like 8 years after and there's still something that's not PBR correctly. Cosmetics? Yeah, these cosmetics, yeah, like for example, the new ones are all PBR'd correctly, the old ones aren't. If we at least do something like copy main colors, you'll see what I mean. I think this is PBR'd somewhat correctly, right? Yeah, it is, but a lot of them actually aren't still. This one isn't. The default one isn't. I mean, the metallic parts, is this default metallic? I mean, all of it is metallic, at least you can choose, but remember, because the thing is locked over here, if you... not this, because like matching up with different things is gonna be very, very hard. Like 90% of the time, that's what I find a problem with. At least you can excuse this one. But for example, the Gazal set, this one, it's completely impossible. This thing is like completely useless. The Gazal's shoulder, sorry, not the shoulder set, but like the different parts here. For example, if I go to the Umbra thing, look at the colors, they don't match up. Because here's metallic, here's the white, the metallic is over here, they're not coloring the metallic over here. There's a tiny amount of metallic here that I don't know what it's doing. So yeah, you see, the problem is I see stuff like this, and I'm like, I should complain about it, but I mean, look at this. Even this part doesn't sync with this one. Even the metallic parts here, even the metallic parts like this, they're not absorbing the color like this. This has like a sickly green to it, and it's very aliased. It's like wet. And this is like 8 years after. 8 years after, and there's still things that are not PBR'd correctly. I mean, I can't really say much because, you know, oh, it's a free game or whatever. Does it honestly matter if there's a single skin that has a problem? I'm like, yeah, honestly, not really. I can at least make it work, but like, you know, whatever. Like, this is what I mean. There were so many reasons I left Warframe like 8 years ago. Because these say something, it takes them like 2 years to implement them. The raids, I can't forget about the raids. I'm not gonna say I was a fan of the raids, but I was one of those people that, you know, like boss fight to the raid system, I liked it. Like, it had potential. And they didn't expand on it, they just took it out immediately. Because people didn't play it. And because every new update, it kept on breaking. Like, there is something that people tend to forget. A lot of old boss fights and raids and stuff like that, the reason we have the shittier boss fights currently, or even different missions in Warframe, the reason we have like the simpler and shittier ones isn't because these being mean and they don't want to put the good stuff in, but because they literally... I bought carrier with me, fuck this, man. I was like, why am I so slow with the bow? But the problem is, D always had this problem where every new update broke something. People forget this, the original raids, the original railjacks, the original this, the original that. D removed them all. We have the current simplified versions because every time, and this isn't me trying to insult D, this is the truth, man. Every time D made an update to the game, it broke something. At one point, their updates were so bad that it completely broke the entire raid, and I think it was the Railjacks back in the day. It completely broke them, and people couldn't play them. So the solution was, let's just remove them outright. That was their solution. I mean, it's literally a better solution than anything else. But yeah, that's one of the reasons. Oh, look at all the lovely Argon that I don't need. Wow, what's with all the Argon, man? But yeah, that's the reason the content is the way it is currently. I think they can't make a game more complicated than Void Cascade. That's about as complicated as it can get, the game. And you're shooting bosses for like 2 hours while they just, you know, go crazy. They go on the spectrum and start attacking everywhere non-stop with like janky animations. That's the best that you can do. Because otherwise, you know, every update they need to go back and fix another update. Remember, in the case of, they weren't called raids, but like the Railjack, quote-unquote raid Railjack system, whatever you want to call them back in the day. Remember, it was so bad, the situation was so bad that every patch they needed to disable the content or fix it. And again, it's a free game, so I can totally understand if some things are never gonna change. Sorry for killing that guy, man, I didn't mean to. I literally didn't mean to kill him, but he was like literally stuck on me. I shouldn't criticize the too much, otherwise they might take away my drama. Let them take from my cold dead body. Let's see who's gonna win out in the end. My arrogance. Yeah, you're right, I'm so arrogant. How dare I expect a cosmetic item to be like fixed 7 years, 8 years after, man, how dare I? Again, that's the problem, I know, like, you know, I can't exactly say too much, I can't really insult D too much, they're running thin margins, man, I know that thing, that studio feeling. But the problem is, okay, I need to say this, but, you know, like, D doesn't want to make any money. Like, within the last few years, you know, there's certain, I mean, I can't say where I got it from, honestly, but there's certain ideas that have been floating around in game development when it comes to making money, especially like for online games. One of the new theories is being like a benevolent, like the benevolent monarch, like benevolent monarchy. So the way currently some studios are thinking of making money in games is something like, okay, you have the in-game currency, and people can buy the in-game currency with money, but what happens in the current socioeconomic situation, you know, especially after the virus times, where people are more distressed with money? How do you get them more value? The thing is, there is the entire benevolent monarchy thing that I'm talking about. So the idea is basically... Oh, you're already there? Good for you. The idea is basically, you give the player 2 options. The player can either buy items for real money, you know, like in the case of Warframe especially, like Warframe would be prime for this. See, I said the word prime. In the case of something like Warframe, basically you do a 2-prong attack. From one direction you have the platinum and the... What is King Crypt doing? He's a ghost, he should be here already before yesterday. And the second way, other than the currency thing, like not the platinum thing, you do actual money. So here's the idea about like the benevolent monarchy or whatever you want to call it, like whatever they're calling it nowadays. The idea is, if you can spend... What is he doing? Is not the belly of the beast alert?
Very good.
Okay. But the thing is, you have platinum. So a person can buy platinum and engage with the trade economy inside the game. Or the person can spend real money to buy something and all that kind of stuff. Now you might be saying, okay, that's stupid because you already spend money on platinum to buy the thing. But here's the thing, here's the idea behind it. And again, I don't know why D doesn't want to implement these systems to make money actually. If I go in here, for example, I don't know, what can I look at? Not this, because this is a whole different thing, but Armor sets. Okay, so armor sets. Now forget about the Tenogen thing. For example, you have this chest piece, you know, it's like 45 platinum, yada yada yada, no, if you check the market, you know what I mean. Now, the entire idea behind currently distressed socioeconomically, like the situation out there, is to basically increase the prices of these things, make them more expensive within the game, within the currency market of the game, so you have a platinum sink for most people, and give people a discount, give them a discount if they buy it with real money, directly. You know, so for example, how much is 45 platinum? Let me run the math here. Okay, so the best value platinum is this, assuming we believe D, which I don't. So about 4,000 platinum divided by, let's make 144, okay? Let's not pretend 0.99 is gonna be useful for us. So divided by I said 144, right? Yeah, 144. Okay, so you're averaging about what, 25 platinum per dollar? Right, 27. Okay, let's say you're averaging 30 platinum per dollar. Let's say it's 30, like 30 platinum, right, per dollar. So that's the value we're looking at here. So 30 platinum per dollar. Now, in Warframe, that means an armor piece like this costs about $2, right? It costs about $2. Here's what they should do, honestly, honestly, to avoid a lot of problems, and so they actually make money, which, like, you know, is part of the benevolent monarchy thing that I talked about. Again, it's a thing that some studios are, like, you know, this is a talk that they do, but whatever, I guess D is afraid of money or something. It's pretty simple. Because it's free platinum, this thing should technically be more expensive, and then the player, for example, can actually buy this directly with actual money for $2. Now you might be saying that is stupid, that doesn't make any sense, and yada yada yada, but I'm gonna be like, well, D needs to make money somehow. This is one way to do it. People have access to the stuff, but they pay a premium price on it, or for real money, they're getting a discount because, you know, real money is going over to digital extremes. This is how you do it. And the reason I say that also, because then we can finally get proper armor sets. Because if you notice something, and this is a meeting, I don't want to interact with the Tenogen, okay? I don't want to buy anything from Steam with the Tenogen thing. That's my thing. And because of that, 90% of the cool-looking armor sets here that should be inside the game that I can easily buy, instead are not available. You have to buy them through the entire Steam thing, and then they on average cost like $2, well actually more like $3 Canadian, give or take. And because of that, D nerfs their armor sets, and we have all these clumsy looking armor sets. Let's be honest here, these are clumsy. Like, this one is cool, this is fine, this is, you know, each one has its own style, it's fine, but if you notice something, there's no armor set that is like nice and regal looking, like, you know, standardized. Because if you go to the armor sets, the places like these, if you go to the shoulder pads, for example, like we have the piercing eye. The piercing eye is a Tenogen thing, and it's a direct upgrade to literally every single piece of this kind that D has. And the thing is, D doesn't update the previous pieces, because if we go here, you know the one that barely makes you see anything, that D refuses to fix or even update graphically to make it actually look good? Where is it? This one, the Vetala set. The other one is a direct upgrade of this set. And D not only refuses to upgrade this set, like actually improve it, you know, so you can actually see for it to disappear and that kind of thing, but also they refuse to make them slightly smaller on smaller frames so it actually fits with the shoulder pads. And they also refuses to actually fix the textures. The textures are completely broken on this one, on the way you color it. That is because they're relying the one from the Tenogen, okay? That's a very little secret. They're relying on the ones from the Tenogen to do the heavy carrying financially for them. These ones. The thing is, we already have it. Like the ones that I'm using from the hexes. These ones. The ones from the hexes. But if I go here for a second, which one can I ruin? Okay, I can ruin you. If you go here to the hexes thing, they are broken. Not only do they have the wrong channels, but for example, if you go over here, the third channel here is affecting this channel, which is not metallic, by the way. So for example, if I go red, you might be like, oh, this is white, what's the big deal? It's taking part of the other channel. And the colors are additive. So the colors are adding on top of each other and they're considerably changing the color, because if you go black, you get the original colors. If you go white, it overwrites the colors. You don't have the colors anymore. It's not metallic. But because the colors are mixing into each other and it's dirty, you don't even get the proper channels for it. In fact, at one point it got so bad that... God, where is it? Because remember, this is not the color that I'm choosing right now. This is not the color I'm choosing. Like for example, if I go here blue and I go to the accent, look how much it's influencing this. The colors over here, how much it's influencing it. And they refuses to fix this. They don't want to fix this because they want people to go and buy the Tenogen stuff. Like, that's the sucky part, you know? That's the sucky part. And these are the only pauldrons, the only pauldron things in the entire game. These are the only pauldrons. These are literally the only pauldrons in the game. The only ones. You don't have any other ones with platinum that can... it's not even platinum, it's based upon the... what call it? The faction system. The hexes. Not the hexes, what to call them? The arbiters. It's the only place. And remember, if I go to white, it completely washes out the colors. It's not metallic. What is affected, I have no idea. But it was definitely a choice by the... It was definitely a choice. And all this because they wanted to buy the Tenogen stuff. Except I don't want to buy the Tenogen stuff. So the solution here for them to actually get back to working on like cosmetic items that actually look decent, that aren't like this, like if I go here right now, like if you notice, 90% of them, the cool ones, well actually this is on the wrong shoulder, are you on the right one? If you notice something other than these, for example, you'll notice like most of the newer cool ones are just Tenogen. This is cool. This is cool. This is super cool. This is cool. This is also cool, although the textures are kind of wrong in the way they're reflecting light, but okay, whatever. This is super cool. This is very stylish. This is yay. I guess if you don't want to drown. This is also fine. Fine, especially super fine. Of course, this is like we start into the territory, but notice how the cool ones are Tenogen only. These ones, janky textures, out of proportions. This one we already talked about, like janky, this is the updated version and it has janky textures. This one is fine, but like when you're gonna put it on, it feels very, like not surreal, but you know, it feels like it needs a specific style with a Warframe. This one, okay, this one is actually one that I like, I think it's cool. But again, they gotta have the dirty textures on it. This one, don't even ask me. This one, it's fine, it definitely goes on Banshee. This one, whatever, it's stylish. But then, these are generic, the textures are, oh my god, what is this? And I'm pretty sure this came out after the PBR thing, so I don't know why the textures on these ones are like so cartoony. This is the new one, but again, if it was on the shoulders, maybe better, but also it doesn't really suit because it's not small enough. We have the usual traditional ones. This is fine, but again, I don't know why the textures are like darker over here, so it doesn't match up with the hue over here, and then you need to fight if you want to go with, for example, the Umbra, and the level quality is different. This one, I love it, but oh my god, what happened to the textures? This is not PBR'd, by the way. This is with, what to call him? This is with the Harrow, right? Harrow came out when things were PBR'd. If I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, Harrow's PBR'd. Yeah, it's PBR'd. The armor set is not PBR'd. It's all plasticky. And I have no idea why. This one, you can barely see. This one, okay, we start with the janky stuff. This one is fine. Of course, you need to find a Warframe to really suit it on. But the thing is, you know, these ones are like you can definitely tell the quality isn't there compared to the Tenogen. And I really wish DA would just use like the Benevolent Monarchy thing. They would actually get back to making some you know, like traditionally good armor sets from them, so you can buy with platinum, or you can buy it at a discount directly with money. Honestly, that would be the only solution, because in current state they're skipping out a lot. You know, like for example, the Ember skin. The Ember skin is full of defects, man. The rigging is all kinds of wrong. Like, hold on. Let me show the tread. It's gonna be embarrassing, but I need to show the tread. Hold on. You know, because the Ember skin came out for platinum instead of actual money. Again, it's like, you know, when they sold the Ember, sorry, not Ember, when they sold Frost and Mag for money, you can tell they put a lot of effort. you can tell they put a lot of effort on the skins, you know, because it was actual money, so they put in a lot of effort. When Ember went back to being, when Ember went back to being like a free skin, well, not a free skin with platinum, again, the solution here for them to put effort in, or like quality control on the skins, the solution here would be like basically, make the skin cost 1,000 platinum. 2,000, it's fine. Make it cost expensive with a free platinum, and if a player wants to buy it directly, or with like, you know, direct bought platinum, they could apply the discount. Like, for example, how much... Hold on. How much was... Okay, this, right? Okay. So, how much was the skin? The skin was like $90. Here's the thing. They could literally make it so that you can buy the skin. I mean, currently, I think the current skin, the heirloom skin with Rhino is 20... Let me check again. How much was that one? Heirloom skin with Rhino. Okay, Rhino is currently how much? No, not you. God, I have so many things I need to click on, man. Okay, Rhino is currently how much? About, okay, let's give it the benefit of the doubt and say 30 Canadian dollars. This is fine. What they could do is, I mean, don't get me wrong, the quality control is honestly terrible on this skin, as like the quality control honestly on the free skins is terrible. I did look at videos on MAG and what's called Frost Heirloom. You can tell they put a lot of effort on those ones. You can tell. I don't mean the details, I mean like the rigging, like the animation stuff, for example. Because here's the thing, I guess I need to show this first so I can make it apparent. Ember's skin, the heirloom, is one of the lowest quality skins I've ever seen in the game. Nova's Big Dumpy doesn't have this problem. Banshee doesn't have this problem. No other Warframe has this problem with the skins, only Ember has it, and you can tell it was rushed. Because, for example, she has a massive gap underneath her armpit. No matter what position you put her in, which animation, even the default one, she has this massive gap. All her other skins don't have it. There's most likely a person who is in charge of like rigging characters nowadays, or they have an automated system. I guess they're using heat maps or something. Sorry, I'm using big words. Like basically they're tools that do it automatically for you, and I think they kind of like automated it, and they didn't take a second pass on it. They didn't check, like, don't have a checking animation to see how it bends. Usually you need to have one, you know, like your character spreads like in different directions to see how it breaks, and then you call it like a day from there. But Ember's heirloom skin is badly rigged. Like, it completely deforms 90% of the time in places. Like, I noticed this, you know, I noticed this, I just don't say anything because it's a free game. I can't really complain at the end of the day, but, like, it's really bad, honestly. Especially the way she juts out her shoulders compared to all the other skin. Even here, like, with, you know, the other Pyraxis skin that is muscular, it doesn't jut out like that. And the worst part is, how can I explain this? Like, this is because the screen, not the screen, the skin was free, or should I say technically free, because, you know, you can buy it for platinum. This is what ended up happening with the quality. She has a giant gap. You know those people that are complaining about Ember being out there? You know, oh, does she have a vagina or something? It's because psychologically, those people were seeing this giant vagina-like gap here. Because her thighs are not collapsing onto each other like every other skin. I also checked all the other Warframes. Fun fact, Mirage's Oni skin, if I can show it. Sorry, I got nothing better to do. I'm waiting for the belly alerts to appear because I don't want to do the belly thing. Mirage on Arrow. Mirage on Arrow actually has the same problem. Assuming she can control herself. Her legs collapse on themselves. It's clear that there is at least, there is one person that is exporting the models, and whoever they are, like their workstation is an automated tool that is doing it, and it's set wrong. Mirage legs actually is collapsing on itself. It's like, it's completely collapsed. It's clear that this person who did the rigging for this skin and the Ember is the same person, because they have the same defect over here, and their dumpies also collapse on themselves. It's clear that it's being done on the same workstation. And I think Rhino might have had the same problem, except in the case of his legs, they survived. I have no idea how. So yeah, if I go back here, so basically this is what's happening. All the other Warframes and even Ember's other skins don't have this problem. And this only gets worse over time. Like, for example, if you do the dragon pose or anything, like every other skin, no matter which Warframe I check, they are surviving it. Ember has the most deformed ass. I don't know how people didn't see this. The Warframe that has the ass, okay, that has the giant ass, nobody noticed her ass is defective. I saw it on the first day, but you know, I'm like, listen, it's been a while since I touched a woman, so maybe I don't know what asses are supposed to look like. But no, I'm so happy I know what my asses look like. It looks like Play-Doh. Ember's ass is Play-Doh. If you look at a single picture of Ember's heirloom ass, specifically, when she's doing any kind of animation, it's always deformed. It's always deformed because it's collapsing on the spine, it's connected to the other side of the ass, the leg is eating into it. It's a monstrosity. Look how bad it is. It's like, I see this all the time. But again, because it's a free game, I don't say anything, you know? I'm like, you know, for the amount of content you get for a free game, I can't really complain. But nobody notices this stuff. Nobody notices it. You know, people noticed Messa's ass. Like when people made the drama about... I forgot you were there. When people made the drama about Messa's ass, because apparently Messa's ass got smaller or something with one of the skins. So, okay, so apparently Messa's... I mean, this looks small. Okay, so I don't know what the drama was, but apparently it's a heritage on Reddit. Heritage on Reddit! So, you have the standard ass that apparently was like this. They give her a plump ass, and then somebody dropped it, like they nerfed it. And people got mad, so they buffed it again. And I think in the process, by mistake, they also buffed the Praedos... sorry, not the Presido skin. Which, unfortunately, by the way, like 8 years later, and the PBR texturing is not done on this at all. 8 years later. This is an 8-year-old skin. I don't know how they... Wow, it's actually low quality. Wow, the lights are no... Jesus Christ. Okay, whatever. What can we do, man? That's life. It's really unfair sometimes. Oh, boy. By the way, her Dumpy also collapses. The other skins don't have this problem, and again, like really old skins, like the Banshee's first deluxe skin, or Nova's default skin that they quote-unquote revamped, like these are already like all free, you know, because they're the base of the Warframe, and they don't have any of the rigging problems that the special skins have in current age. I don't know why, but yeah, this is what happens when you're only going for Platinum. Unfortunately, this is the very little secret that, by the way, there's a bug also here with Ember's skin in the back. Part of it is supposed to be gold here, but instead it's like another color. It's like taking the third channel or something. I have no idea why they did this randomly. I don't know. But this is the difference between the Mag Heirloom and the Frost Heirloom skins. This is the difference. When real money was involved, and you can check any videos or anybody that might have them, you'll see all these problems are non-existent. They don't have these problems on the skin. They are very well done. They're very good. The rigging especially is excellent, and they don't have any channel problems. Rhino and Ember, you can tell they were rushed because they're only going for Platinum. The solution here is, and here's the thing, it like whatever, you know, fine, whatever, it costs this much, it's fine. If we go back to the math, it's about 30 Platinum per dollar, so this is essentially 400 Platinum. If we run the math here, I need to remember that it's 30. 400 divided by 30, right? That's what I meant to do. Okay, so it's about $13. The thing is, if you go with the Prime Access and you get the best value access bundle for the amount of money that you're... And remember, I'm doing it Canadian, so this is going to be actually worse in American, because if I remember correctly, apparently DE is doing like a direct conversion of American dollars. So basically, Americans are paying more technically. Also, I don't know why I just said murr there like that, but you know, whatever. $30, sorry, not $30, 30 Platinum per dollar. That means on average, what did I say? It was like $13. So you're paying more already. Like, let this sink in for a minute. You buy it here, you buy the bundle. Like this is, you know, I know there are better deals than this. I know on consoles, the 50% deal, or the, what to call it, the 75% discount, or is it 90 even, or 80, I forget. You know, it's a better deal than this, I know that. But I'm taking the deal that is easy to access for most people. You know, I'm taking the reliable deal. I'm not taking the deal that happens once in a full moon, like, I don't know, I'm not taking that one. Technically, you're paying less with Platinum this is the quality of the models, unfortunately, we're getting. Like, again, it's a lot of detail, it's a lot of effort. Nobody can say anything about that, I understand. But, oh my god, the amount of, especially on Rhino, the amount of cosmetics that don't fit correctly, and like you need to keep on going on the forums and posting about it. They need to be fixed manually every time, because the E doesn't want to give you a slider to, like, you know, like, for example, Ember still has this problem. This thing. It's not in the right place. It's been like that since the start. Like, people actually mentioned this since the start, but they didn't fix it up till today. The thing is, if they give you a slider, you could just do it yourself. Like literally, like, D doesn't even need to spend a single minute on this. There's a reason the quality is like this, because technically, even though this is like almost 30 Canadian dollars, it's actually more like, what did I say it was? It's more like 13. If you just buy this, you can literally like get a 50% discount on the next set of like collections, heirloom collections on every single Warframe. And apparently its value is supposed to be 49 and stuff like this. The thing is, at this point, you know, D doesn't have Genshin money. This is what's happening with the quality. They also severely rely, as I mentioned, half of the armor sets aren't retextured correctly, the PBR texturing didn't succeed, the channels are really not working out. The Ghazal set is completely useless at this point. Like, the Ghazal set didn't barely worked with already the other body parts here. The other parts here. It barely worked with them. Now it's completely dead. Like, this thing here, this armor set, you can't even use it for 90% of the armor sets here. I mean, I'm not gonna say they should offer a refund on some of these sets, but oh my god, like, you can't use this. This doesn't go with 90% of the design, not design, what called, like, not the shading, the color coordination. Unfortunately. And they didn't really fix it. I don't think they plan on fixing it at all. Like, that is not the point. The point is, because this is all platinum, the little dirty secret that nobody wants to talk about is because of that, it kind of nuked the market on the side. So we're constantly getting like this weird, wacky, sometimes good armor sets, but they are not putting in the effort. The effort, unfortunately, for the armor sets is not there. If you compare to the heirloom skin of Mag and Frost, these ones, you can tell the quality is a lot different. You can tell, like, especially on Frost, you can tell. They didn't come with armor sets, but you can tell the quality is much different on these. You can definitely tell, because it was only for money, it was that expensive. So unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, like, the thing I wish they would honestly just do is for them to go with the, as I mentioned, the benevolent monarchy thing that some developers want to do nowadays because of the financial situations, which is basically give the people an option of buying something with actual money, like D is doing it directly, or basically buy it with platinum. Except they should do this directly for everything. Honestly, I'd rather have an armor set from D, something like this. Not like this. This you have to buy in the bundle, but where is it? Something like this. I'd rather have this armor set. Just the shoulders. Cost 100 platinum, even 200. And for them to be much better quality. And for D to actually put in, not put in, but especially the, what's called, this one. These ones with the broken textures and stuff that the 8 years later hasn't fixed. 8 years later hasn't fixed. Like, more pauldrons like this, more stuff like this, more normal stuff like this, instead of the wacky stuff that barely works on 90% of the Warframes because of not even the design, just the texturing of itself. More stuff like this, more bare quality controlled. Let them be 200 platinum, 100 platinum, 200. And give the player an option, just like Ryan over here, to buy it at a 50% discount directly with the money. This means if we're gonna go by the 30 platinum per dollar, they could literally make that, they literally could make every single piece $2, and they would make bank with that. Because I'm pretty sure, of course, people are gonna be spending platinum, but more people would actually think about, would I rather spend the entire day trying to collect like 100 platinum, 200, maybe, for example, Rhino could, like, ironically enough, the Rhino Iron collection needs to be even Ember. They need to be actually 800 platinum. Would you rather spend 800 platinum or the value of 13 Canadian dollars that is being calculated as 26 or 25? That would honestly solve a lot of their problems, and they can actually start making some serious money. They can actually finally catch up to making Genshin money rather than having slim margins. Because again, I know what is happening here. The reason all these issues are happening, is because they don't have somebody in the studio, an extra. I don't mean like an actor extra, I mean an extra person that takes a second look at everything. Usually in a studio, you have a second person, you have an extra somebody that takes a second look at this kind of stuff and fixes it. That is their entire job. D doesn't have that. Because if I remember correctly, in Genshin Impact, I don't play Genshin Impact, but I saw this and, you know, I was like, wow, yeah, they have money. Those guys, those motherfuckers have money. Because there was a little cosmetic issue. If I can Google this. It was on Reddit. And it was like months ago. I'm not gonna find it. Cosmetic issue. I think it was the makeup of a character. Like, let it sink in for a minute. In Genshin Impact, there was a character that had a very tiny mistake with like their face. I mean, I can't show it on this, but okay, imagine this. Imagine they had a problem with the eyeshadow. It had something to do with the eyes or like a makeup or something. It was so small. Nobody cares, honestly. Nobody wants to care. Like, definitely D wouldn't care. D wouldn't like fix that within the next 2 years. Or even 3, or even ever. But that thing was so small, it didn't even matter, but it was fixed within the week when somebody pointed it out. You can tell over there at the Genshin studios, they have enough money that they can have a surplus employee, that one employee whose entire job is to sit on Reddit wanking off, and somebody is like, hey, the makeup on the eyes is bad. Can you fix this? And they're like, yeah, hold on, let me just... Okay, 5 minutes, they're done. It's gonna come out within the next patch at the end of the week. They have that kind of money. This is what I mean. You can tell they wanted to make the heirloom skins only for money because of that, because of the quality thing. And because it didn't happen, we unfortunately ended up with a situation where Rhino and Ember have severe clipping issues to the point like it's just... It feels like they didn't care, you know? Like they were just, let's get this skin out. Because if I go to Rhino, where is it? If I go to Rhino, they should make it so weapons rescale, honestly. This is like so... You know why I use the bow on Rhino? I wanted to use a shotgun on Rhino. You know why I use the bow on Rhino? People are gonna be like, you know, like, you like Ember. You promised to play Rhino, why didn't you doing it? First of all, Rhino is buggy. His second is broken. His iron skin is broken. For some reason, when you go into operator mode and you come out or something like that, and there's different buffs and different overguards that interact with each other, it breaks. Okay? Iron skin breaks very easily, and you can get one shot as Rhino, because apparently the iron skin can break and you get shot. You get shot through your shield gating with Rhino. That happened all the time. While I was editing the videos, I was like, dude, I was getting shot through my shield gating. And the shield gating half the time didn't work on him. I don't know why. So, yeah. Rhino, unfortunately, is in a bad place because of all the bugs he has. And maybe they should have fixed that before the heirloom skin. But here's the thing. With Rhino, I always use shotgun. His weapon for me was the Boar Prime. Because he himself is a boar. Guess what happens if you put this weapon? Does this look like a man who's holding a shotgun right now? Where's his arm? What is this? If we go to default... sorry, not the default... No, right, you stay there, man. You stay there. If we go to the default skin, go back to your shotgun. Because his belly is cut, he's cut down the belly, it looks somewhat normal. It's still bad, but that's at least something. If we go to another animation, Rhino Noble, for example, he at least somewhat holds it decently. Somewhat. Why is his muscle clipping into each other like this? Why is this stretched up like this? This looks like transparent fat is just stretching out. And on top of that, his nippless torso is eating into his arms over here. Why? Compared to this Frost or anything. Frost heirloom skin doesn't have any of these problems. Like I saw videos, he doesn't have any of these problems. Also, why does his neck piece sometimes like change around like it's floofy? It shouldn't be floofy. They said it's like static piece. Why is it floofy? I don't understand. Someone just auto-rigged this. Also, he has this brown gunk over here. Why does Rhino have brown gunk? I don't understand. It's literally the color. It's literally the color of poop. Why? It's not even like nice brown. It's not. It's that red brown. Why? I don't understand. I mean, thankfully, at least his legs, because his legs are so big. I mean, you know, still whatever. See, Rhino's being baka. Where is it? At the very least, his legs aren't having that problem. At the very least, they're tight. His ass is tight, thankfully. But that's the irony. I mean, look at this! Look at this! This is what happens when D gets so offended by the community and they're like, you guys don't want to spend money. Dude, you guys... Dude, look at this! Look what a disaster this is! Dudes, seriously, just charge. Charge people 800 plat, because again, this is the same person that did the rigging for the Ember skin, the Mirage Onari skin, and the Rhino. It's that person. It's the same one. Who is this person? What tool did it automate? Because here's the thing, none of these Warframe's back actually deforms. If you pay attention, their backs don't deform. They don't deform. It's like one giant brick house. If your Warframe falls and they do that animation, you know, where they fall on the ground, their back doesn't bend properly if you pay attention. Who is this person? I don't understand what kind of tool they're even using. Are they using the Trees to... I don't think they're using Trees to Mac. Are they using the default heat maps from Maya? But you can edit those. Why don't you do that? Like just tighten it up over here. I mean, literally the legs got fixed. The leg part got fixed, but the rest of it broke. The most important parts on the characters continuously break. That's what I find funny about the Heirloom skin, except Frost and Mag. Frost and Mag, as far as I can tell, they didn't have these problems from the videos and the pictures that I saw. Maybe in an update they broke it, I don't know. But this is what you get because of the entire Platinum thing. And again, at this point I honestly think DE needs to, as I keep on saying, they need to think about going into the Benevolent Monarchy monetization system, which is, as I mentioned, basically. And again, like, this is what I mean. I don't know why they don't want to make money. It's very easy. Here's what they should have done. These skins, the Heirloom skin pack, here's what they should do. Make it 6 months. 6 months at a discount. Like, let's say 20 Canadian dollars for each one. Maybe 25. Let's make it clean and nice. 25 Canadian dollars for 6 months. Okay, for each skin. After that, after 6 months, make it maybe 30, 40. Whatever they think it's fair. You know, 40 for each one. That means a total of 80, which adds up to like the 80 that they mentioned here, right? Well, it's more like 89. Let's make each one 40. And you can also buy it for Platinum, and Platinum is double price. Platinum can be like all the way into the 800. I would totally be happy with that if we can get better quality skins than this. This is very rushed. And again, it's a free game. It's a game you play, the skins are not the main focus, like let's say all those other Gunner games. I totally understand that, but oh man, this is getting ridiculous at this point. The newer stuff that is coming out, the quality of it, oh my god, it's getting lower and lower every time. And I totally understand that, you know, they don't have Genshin money, they don't have that one employee on the standby whose entire job is to literally... Because here's the thing, all this stuff that I just mentioned, like I don't have access to the textures, but it's so easy to fix, especially for the Ghazal set. It's so easy to fix. Dude, is there a texture? Okay, wait. I think D has Warframe. And here's the thing, I know what somebody's gonna say. They're gonna be like, you know, this is gonna take time and stuff. And I totally understand that. I totally understand that, man. I totally understand that. I know how textures work. I know how this time and stuff is done. But do they have an example? Is there an example texture I can download? Because I don't, I'm not going to download, like, you know, a 3D model of Warframe right now. Because if I do, it would be like, you know, a ripped one. It won't be official. That's a whole can of worms I don't want to open. Okay. So, okay. Because Warframe is using, like, the RGB masks. You know, like, each channel in a texture is basically, like, covering a color of something. Like, for example, this could be red. Like, literally. Like, where is it? R? No, not you, Rhino. Not you. I mean, you also have a problem currently, but, you know, not you right now. Okay, R. G. Sorry, that's not G. I don't know my color. No, I just went green again. What's wrong with me? Okay, blue. No, not you, please. RGB. And then there's, of course, A for accents. sorry, A is for alpha. I don't know if they're gonna use that because I'm pretty sure they use another texture to cover these as well. So like, for example, RGB. For these ones, okay, they're gonna reference the same texture, but in the material they're gonna declare it as something else. This is like, by the way, this is like very easy to do. This takes like 5 minutes in the Unreal Engine. That's not even a joke. Like, I worked, okay? I worked in this, I know. So this, I'm not sure if they're doing an alpha or they're calling another texture, like for example, the roughness material thing to in the alpha. Because, you know, in the, for example, the specularity thing, you just need the R and G, the B you can keep it. Assuming they use the G, because some developers don't use the G because of the... Sorry, the blue channel, because the blue channel compresses worse than the other channels. It's a whole thing, it depends on how they set up the thing. But it's very easy to do, honestly, and I do mean it is easy. I'm not being arrogant and being like, you know, I'm saying you just press optimize. No, trust me, it is. So if we do this, and the colors are wrong, somebody's gonna be like, well, you know, it's gonna take them forever to fix all this stuff. No, it isn't. Because I'm gonna show this right now. I can't believe I'm gonna show this, man. This is honestly... Because I can understand a few years ago, even though they have the access to like all the Photoshop tools, you know, it might take a while, but nowadays there's a free tool you can use. It's called Chainer. It's a free tool that people can use with like not language models, but, you know, AI models, to upscale textures, change stuff, yada yada yada. And here's the thing, they don't need to do any of that. If these too lazy... Okay, sorry, it's arrogant to say it's too lazy, but here's the thing, if they're too lazy to open Photoshop, and this is on my PC from 10 years ago, by the way, I have a 10-year-old PC, it's not exactly a looker nowadays. Okay, this is actually the perfect example, because this is what they actually look like in Warframe in the material editor. So let me just open this picture. It's gonna take a while to load, remember? I'm pretty sure DE has better PCs than me in their studios. Just saying, okay? My PC is 10 years old, man. It's 10 years old. It's 10 years old. I don't even have the DirectX 12.2. I have the DirectX 12.0. That's why half of the Unreal engines don't even run properly and have VRAM issues. But, okay, this is a free tool. Okay? Here's the thing. Let's say worst case scenario, DE lost of their original files, okay? They lost their original files. And people are gonna be like, well, you know, like changing the R to the thing, and then in Photoshop you have to go and press this. And here's the thing, I agree. I wish Photoshop was as good as this free program, but Photoshop is absolutely shit. You know, half of the time for doing simple stuff. The thing is, where's the... Yeah, okay, yeah, there it is, separate RGB. You can literally, within 5 minutes, do this. Fix all those armor sets that I just talked about, all those channels having problems. And again, this is literally a tool that is used to load models, like AI models, you know, that people trained on. It's to basically, like, for example, you want to upscale. They're actually like 3D artists that already did half of the work, not even half of the work, all of the work, where you can load like PBR channels. You can actually load a PBR model and be like, okay, my specularity is like old school glossiness, I want to change it to like modern PBR. It does it for you automatically. Like literally, it just takes, for me, it took 5 minutes to start the program because of my 10-year-old PC. For DE, it's gonna take them like 30 seconds, honestly. I'm not gonna say and be like, oh, you guys should be better than this, but oh my god, like, you know, 8 years after and the Mesa skin is still not done, like, oh my god, like, I get that you guys don't have the Genshin money, but oh my god, you know, they at a certain point, it's like, no, come on. You can separate the channels, and RGB again, combine the channels, view image is to view here, I think, right? Let's say, in the case of the Rhino thing over here, this is R. Over here we have the R here. Imagine, because I don't have access to the textures unless I outright rip it from the game, but you can change, for example, the R, this is the main piece with the tint. Okay, it's a big piece, unfortunately, but let's say this is the tint. So this is the tint or the accent. We're gonna put it in the B. The rest you want to invert or not invert. We just change its position. Let me compare them both. How long did that take? Seriously, this is on a 10-year-old PC, and me running the program, because I have like limited VRAM, of course the game is in the background, that's a whole different story, but I just changed positions with no loss of quality. There is no loss of quality. This is a free program that does it. Up till today, there are armor sets that are 8 years old. And I understand they don't have Genshin money, so they don't have that one employee. Again, I know that, so I can't really criticize them too much. But man, and it's a free game, I totally understand that, but man, there's sometimes things like this that I see and I'm like, dude, come on. 8 years later, and they're like armor sets that haven't been cleaned up, you know? Like, come on, man. This literally, this is it. This is all they need to do. This is all they need to do. Even if they don't have access to the original files, this is all they need to do. And here's the thing, they can load models. Yeah, like, for example, I know someone is out there gonna be like, this is not clean, you know? Like the, what do you call it? The model is not clean. You can do an upscale image. If I get to my model stuff, hold on, let me find my model files, so I don't show people anything. Where are my models? Where are my male models? And here's the thing, you can download all these models very easily. Like there are trillions of sites where they host like you know, trained models. But they're like literally models to clean up compression. You can upscale, and you don't even need to upscale. Like for example, there's like a million different ways to do it, whichever one you want. I think I usually choose PC Smooth. Okay, there it is. We take the model, we take the upscale. And again, you don't need to like increase the size of the texture. You can just... By the way, there are actually studios that actually use this in their workflow. That's not even a joke. But the thing is, I think I need to use small tiling, unfortunately, again, because of my PC, because it's like 10 years old. I can't get like one giant tile done in one go, especially with the software that I'm currently running. But you can actually clean up slightly. Of course, it's not going to show here correctly because I'm viewing it right now in the software. You can literally do this. It's gonna take slightly longer, you know, in my case. Again, this is a 10-year-old PC, as I keep on saying that. And it will clean up the artifacts with no loss of quality. Just clean up the little compressions, like the stuff that you see on JPEGs. I honestly don't know, like again, I totally understand these running thin margins here. I totally understand that. And I can't make fun of them and be like, oh, they don't have time to do this, D, you suck. I totally understand that. It's a free game. I totally understand that, man. I understand that. I understand, man. I understand. Trust me, my balls. Totally understand that. But... oh my god, this like literally takes like literally 5 minutes. This is also the reason why I make fun of Redditors, you know, when they... I'm not gonna say they defend D, but they're like, oh, D does this or D does that. My point is, sometimes you'll see comments on Reddit where they'll be like, oh, this is too hard to do. This is gonna take too long. This is gonna be too complicated. Or like Varuna, for example, running on all fours, even though she has a default animation that they can use as a base from. All that kind of stuff, this is what I mean. Something as a texture, Redditors will jump at the first chance to be like, hey, we need to defend D at the fact that they can't do this. You know, it's not easy to do. It's literally the easiest thing to do. I don't know. Maybe D is, again, because D doesn't have Genshin money, maybe they're not... they don't get people on that level. I don't know, each their own, honestly. I can't really complain. Again, it's a free game, I can't really complain too much. But sometimes it honestly drives me up the wall when literally a free software, like literally free software, does the work for you automatically anyways. Already. Let me put it this way. All these cosmetic items, I can already say it right now. All these ones that have the wrong channels. The weird aliasing problem, like on the, what do you call it? On the Mesa skin. I'm already gonna say this. I know it's very arrogant, but I'm gonna say this. I can do all of this within the day. With that tool, with Chainer, I barely met her. With Chainer, I can already do all this work. I can literally fix every single cosmetic within D-Day. See a pun over there, D-Day. I can already do that. It's just D doesn't have the workers, or should I say the margins, you know, because they're running tight margins. By the way, does the animation work on you correctly or no? Yeah, your legs actually collapse correctly. But this is what I mean. No, I'm not talking about the models, because the model is going to be a whole different situation. Because I don't have the software, I'm pretty sure they use Maya. I don't have Maya. I use 3D Studio Max and Blender. Honestly, I can even fix the rigging within like 5 minutes. I can do that. Yeah, honestly, what they should do, they should set up, what you call it? I don't know what the site is. Is that even a site? Is it Trello? I forget what it is. I think it's called Trello, right? Or it's a different software, I forget. One of the software. Anyways. Honestly, you know what they should do? As I talked about the money, that's what they should honestly do, the Benevolent Monarchy system, just so we can get actually some decent cosmetics that aren't Tenogen finally. I think we can get at least one decent cosmetic a year, I think, you know, something standard a year. If they start doing the, what's call it, the charitable, the Benevolent Monarchy thing. But also they could use Trello or these other softwares where you can... Yeah, actually it is Trello. Okay, yeah, this one. They should only use Trello with an upvote system. People should go here and they upvote what they want DE to fix. You know, like for example, somebody submits the Ember thing, the Ember skin, and for example, if it's the highest rated one, they can be like, okay, you know, it gets like, for example, let's say 10 upvotes. And at the end of the month, they'll be like, okay, this got 10 upvotes. For example, Rhino Heirloom got 20. We're gonna start fixing Rhino Heirloom, you know? And then those points will stack into the next month. If nothing else gets 10 points, they work on that one. Honestly, like a democracy, like an upvote system. They should honestly think about doing that because there are way too many things currently in Warframe that need fixing. Again, it's a free game, so I can't really complain about it, you know? That's what I keep on saying. Like, I'm trying to put in perspective, you know? Like, look at this absolute disaster over here. Look at the moldy ass she has. Yeah. I mean, what was I talking about? Rhino, right? Again, look at this. Look at the way he holds it. You know, like this. And then we change the appearance to you. And it really doesn't suit it. I mean, the way, like, man, I don't know, the rigging. Honestly, they should really think about, like, overcharging in Platinum for this stuff. And just at the end of the day, you know, making a discount for people who pay real money for it. It honestly should be better like that. I know where games work. I actually, unlike other people on Reddit who kept on defending DE about some of the decisions they make, actually worked with games. I know it is. DE is lying 90% of the time about the stuff they claim it is. Do you honestly think the chair thing was real? It honestly wasn't. The only thing I can imagine is that literally the person's, like, you know what? I'm 100% sure. I'm 100% sure. The reason the chair took like 9 months to fix, assuming I can find this, hold on. Can I find something like... The thing is, I'm 100% sure what happened is because I'm pretty sure the person who's exporting the Ember and like the heirloom skins, their automated tools have a problem that they aren't fixing. I'm not trying to call them out or like be an asshole, but this happens sometimes. And you know, I totally understand it's a problem for some people. I totally understand that. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure what's happening is that seat, you know, you want to call it a seat or whatever, that workstation. There's a workstation that has a problem in the way they export models. And there's a very good chance that basically they're rogue vertices. They're rogue vertices that are like hidden. They're off, you know, into space, but they're technically a collision. So what is happening is that polygon, that vertex that is invisible and off into space, which by the way, they're like literally tools in your 3D software that can clean it up for you automatically. Very likely what's happening is those rogue vertices and polygons, those things, okay, are most likely like off into space. They're clipping into the ground or something like this. Like imagine this chair has an invisible polygon somewhere underneath it. And it's calculating collision on that. So the collision is breaking and the chair is flipping and doing all those crazy stunts or whatever that they claimed it does. That is the only explanation I have, because otherwise it's literally impossible for a 3D model not to behave as you want it to behave. Okay? That is like something you see on our Blender, the subreddit for Blender, okay? That's what you see over there. When new students, I'm not trying to insult anybody, but new students are trying to learn Blender, you know, that don't know how to make models, and there's like a million different vertices and other things stretching all over this place and breaking. In that case, I can totally understand that, but I think these sometimes really like exaggerates and lies what the problem could be, when they could just say we had problems, that's it. I mean, they're claiming up till today that they know what the problem could be. I don't believe that for a second. I'm pretty sure they know it. They could literally make a story about it, have fun with it, but they don't want to admit that somebody in the studio who is a veteran of 20 years forgot there's a floating polygon somewhere, invisible, because they forgot to run the tools to check like if there's something broken that needs fixing. That's what I'm trying to say. That's one of the reasons I'm also not using Rhino anymore, other than the broken stuff like this. Oh my god, the bulging weirdo muscles. Look at the muscles. Dude, they just seriously let people buy the skins for money for 6 months, and then after 6 months, like, increase the price, and also like allow them to buy for platinum for double the price. Honestly, just give people quality skins, man. At this point, you can also go back to doing the 2 skins then, you know, because people will be willing to pay for it. Okay, 2 skins a year, and even then it's gonna take like a, oh my god. Can I fix this? Yeah, I can fix this! Oh my god, I can't fix this. I can fix all of this! It's so, unlike Redditors who lie, this is actually easy to fix. This is actually easy to fix. It is actually easy. God, I wish I was back to the days when all I had to do was just somebody hands me a model and they're like, hey, can you make a second pass to this? And I'm like, oh, okay, so I just run a heat map here, a heat map here, a heat map here, that's it, okay. Bend the model a little bit, okay, it seems fine. Within like you know, acceptable range. Okay, this needs to be solid, even if there's clipping, it's fine. What is this poop color? Remove it. You know, do that. Literally, my god, dude, it takes like 5 minutes. Like, literally takes 5 minutes. It literally takes 5 minutes. It takes literally 5 minutes. But again, I can't criticize DE because I know what's happening. They don't have the not the budget, but they don't have the allocated time, resources, and budget, that kind of time, like, you know, the allocated space to have somebody work on this, and they most likely don't have an employee that can actually work on this like that, just like that. Because, you know, that's it. They don't have Genshin money. And honestly, they should think about doing the other stuff so they can actually get Genshin money. That is my opinion. That's why sometimes I say they is like giving away too much free stuff. Because then they can't get Genshin money, and if they don't have Genshin money, you know, they act unwise, and they can't even run a program, a free program like this. By the way, I think this program is outdated.
It's currently outdated, I think. I don't have the updated version. Do I have the updated version?